Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. My name is Tess. Today's video is going to be another color story inspired tutorial. My last one was the patmcgrath Celestial Divinity. You guys seem to really enjoy this, so today we're doing the Rare Beauty Confident Energy eyeshadow palette. This is the color story that they came out with. I'm going to swatch the shades that I found and we're going to jump into 3 tutorials, including this one I'm wearing right now. If you guys are interested in this video, please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and let's jump into the video. Okay guys, let's quickly breeze through the swatches. I want my video to focus more on the color story, the color combination, the color placement, more on the tutorial part, not so much as like I'm trying to hunt for the dupes, but I just trying to, you know, find something that I think are pretty close, pretty similar. And yeah, these are the 4 palettes I'm going to dig into today. So 2 of them are from BH Cosmetics. They're probably expired and pretty old. I have not thrown them away yet. And this palette is from Colourpop by birde. And then I've also used the patmcgrath ecstasy subversive palette. It's kind of the similar vibe. This palette has all shimmer. I'm going to swatch this and this 2 shades that I use. This is the copper brown and that is the metallic true gold. Other copper brown, I also found it in this palette. Very cheap, everything's shimmer. I also use the shades for the copper brown. I'm just gonna swatch it on top because I used them both intermittently. And I also found the green here. Just gonna do the green here. It's not a lime green, but I'm gonna top Colourpop Supershock on top of it. You know, you can always make your own concoction. This is more of like a lime green. This is the Colourpop Supershock called Above the Clouds. I'm just gonna put that on top and make it like a more limey type of a green. Do your own little concoction. I feel like it's more like a teal and aqua kind of a blue. I'm gonna swatch the blue here. For another blue that I also found in the Desert Oasis palette, they probably already discontinued this palette, but there's a aqua blue here called Hot Spring. I'm gonna swatch that just on top because I use them both. And then for the pale champagne gold, I'm just gonna swatch this shade called Moonscape. I'm just gonna go into the Bye Bye Birdie palette and I'm gonna go into this pink called Nevermore. I'm gonna swatch it right here. These are the 6 shades that we're mainly working with. Show you guys a little bit of a close-up and we'll jump into the tutorial. Okay, so I already prepped my eyes with the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. And now I just want to lightly go over my eyelid with some cream white eyeshadow. You can take any beigey eyeshadow over your eyes, slightly set the base. All right, let's go into the pinky goldy color story and see how it turns out. So I want to go into the pink Colourpop Bye Bye Birdie palette. I'm taking this shade called Nevermore. I'm just gonna go in with a fluffy brush. It's like a rose gold type of a shade. I want to buff that all over because this palette has no mattes. I mean, I kind of just want a matte in an eyeshadow palette, but if shimmer is your thing, well, you can definitely play with the shimmer. If you want more of like that blown out effect, I would suggest you going with like a fluffy brush instead of a really densely packed of a brush. And if you want just like an all over kind of a color, you can certainly do that and bring it up to the crease. I mean, honestly, like this palette just isn't really the kind of palette that I gravitate towards, if I want to be honest. Yeah, I think like between the two, I definitely gravitate a lot more towards the magnetic spirit. That is just me. So I'm putting this like a rose gold pinky shade all over my eyes, buff it above my crease. Start to like drag it out. Okay, next I want to go into the brown that we found in Blue Eyes 28 color palette from BH. I have this palette like a long time ago, since I first started doing makeup. I'm taking this bronzy shade, this bronzy shimmer, and I'm gonna use a smaller, denser brush, and I want to focus that on my outer V. Make it a little more glam. I want to put a little bit on my inner, just so there's a little more definition. I kind of feel like the all shimmer part kind of take over my eyelid. There's no definition, so I want to put that on my inner and outer. That's just might as well get a little halo moment. And I want to go back to like a clean brush and kind of buff the edges a little. I'm gonna go back into this, use my finger, and I'm gonna press that on so it's more metallic. Obviously, if you want this to be very intense, you can use the glitter primer. I kind of just want more of a softer kind of a look, so I'm using my finger without glitter primer. Put on some falsies and lower lash mascara. This is look number 1. This is just something simple, very everyday type of a vibe. Nothing too complicated. And this is look number 1. Alright, so for look number 2, let's just jump into the blue. I really want to play with the blue. I feel like I play with a lot of green these days. You guys probably are a little tired of the green looks, so let's just do the blues, you know? Why not? A little blue concoction that I created. So there's a blue in here. The BH ones, I'm just gonna go in with my finger. Let's just pop that on the eyelid. See what we got. Yeah, this color is just like a really you can almost use it like a matte, because it's not super duper shimmery, bit of a satin kind of vibe. So I just want to pack that all over. It might as well do a full blue kind of look. I'm gonna take a little brush, let's just go with it. Okay, now I want to bring the blue and kind of leave the space in between blank. Switch to like a smaller blending brush, dip back into the blue, start and buff the edges out. Oh my god, actually this palette is probably expired, so the shades are not as like pigmented, but it still works. Buff the edges and try to drag it out to form the shape. Alright, I'm gonna take out my trusty, you already know. I'm gonna pack that more or so on the center of my eyeballs. And then we're gonna go into this blue that I found, this blue from the BH called Hot Spring, and then we wanna just layer that on top. So there's more of that bluish shift. I mean, you can drag it out a little. And I'm gonna do the same to my lower lash line, because supposedly that should be one eyeshadow, right? I'm just gonna pop that on the lower lash. And then kind of flick it up. Alright, so for my outer corner, of course, we're going back to the bronze. I'm gonna go into the Pat McGrath Blue Blood, my outer V for a little, just for some definition. Not really for the color, but just for a little bit of the depth. We love depth on this channel. And buff out the edges, so there's less of like a harsh line, but more of like a soft blur. You basically kind of like rub off the shimmer, make it more like a satin type of a crease color. Okay, to make my lower waterline, this little place here, let's do a little glitter primer. Okay, Pat's Gold Standard, this shade, and let's get a little bit on the brush. This shade is really pigmented, and we'll pop that on the center. And then I want to add a little bit just around here, because why not? Just a little bit, a hint of that gold, kind of lightly pat it out. And now I want to add the green on my inner corner, that mossy green, and tap a little bit of that. I just want that a little bit of that hint of blue and green, and kind of bring it up as well. There's a hint of green mixed with the gold, and I want to go back to Moonscape, that yellow champagne gold, and then pop that on top just to give it an extra pop. And if you kind of feel like this is a little too yellow, you can just, you know, pop a little bit of the champagne on top. So it's not super duper yellow, but just more of like, add a little bit of that brightness. Back to smaller blending brush, I wanna buff out the edges. I kind of bring the look a little, I feel like I need to bring it a little the crease a little more. For my lower waterline, I'm gonna go into Scandal eyeliner in the shade 008. This is the blue that they offer. You don't have to line the middle if you don't want to. And just line a little bit of the upper waterline. So I'm gonna pop on the more dramatic lash so we don't have to do the eyeliner. Take the same shade, Moonscape, and I'm gonna put that on my brow bone. Okay, you guys, this is look number 2. Okay, look number 3. Let's go. I'm going into deep brown, and I'm trying to deepen my outer V. Hopefully this one turns out a lot better than the one that I just took off. I didn't like that one. And then we're gonna bring the color a little bit around here. Okay, let's go into a blending brush. I'm gonna buff the edges out. We will go back to add some more color, but I think for now this is fine. Let's go into the golds. I'm going to the Pat McGrath gold shade, and I'm not gonna use any glitter primer. You can certainly go for it, but I'm just gonna do the gold all over the center. I'm going to mix the pink even more. This pink shade, I'm gonna mix that with the gold. I'm gonna mix them together to create like a pinky orange, something like this. I'm gonna pack that on the inner portion of the eyes right here. I'm going to bring that on this area like I normally would. And go back into more of the pink. Focus more on the inner corner and bring that up above the crease. Just bring a little bit of a orangey shimmer, mixing the two together. Okay, everything's looking fine. Now I'm going back to some glitter primer, and I want to put that on the center of my eyeballs. I want to bring the gold color a little more obvious. I'm going back to Gold Standard from the Mother Pat palette and re-intensify this gold so it just like pops. And starting to drag it towards my outer V a little bit. Okay, so for the final mythology vibes, when we're gonna dip into the brown and mixing that with blue to create like a navy blue kind of color. You kind of just mix the two together and create like a navy kind of a blue vibes. You keep mixing the two until you get like something a little darker than the blue that we just used. And then I want to pack that on my outer V as like a navy blue. Just mixing the two together to create like a navy blue kind of vibes. Okay, if you think this is too harsh, this is definitely a little too harsh. I'm gonna go back to a clean blending brush and to buff out the edges. Okay, now I want to bring the navy bluish color. I want to bring that color on the lower lash line. Alright, just to clean everything up, I'm going to take a cloth and I'm going to trim the edges out. So I want to bring back more of the brown. I'm going back to the brown shade.
Focus on the outer corner and outer V. And drag it out.
If you feel like this has gone a little too deep, I would suggest you go back to the brown and kind of put that in between the gold and the navy, and go back to like a blending brush and then kind of just buff everything out so it has like a really pretty fade into the navy instead of just go dark super fast. Okay, and then now I want to go back to brown again and then kind of go over my lower lash line. I'm gonna bring that up, and then I will take a little bit of the blue, just tap it back, and then gonna add that at the end. Okay, now I want to re-intensify the gold. I'm just gonna go back to gold standard on a fluffy brush, like a paddle style blending brush, and then I just want to lightly bring that all over. I'll go ahead and add more pink on my inner and lower inner corner. Go back to more of the pink. Gonna pat that and have like a pretty fade. The shade right here. Again, highlight my brow bone with it. And of course, my inner corner. Inner corner. Alright, for my lower waterline, I kind of want to go back to the same. I'm going to use the navy blue to line my waterline. Falsies and mascara, this is look number 3. For me to let you guys know my thoughts after playing with all the color combos for the 6 shades that she came out with. I already have a all shimmer palette like this, the patmcgrath one. It's kind of, these 3 shades is kind of a similar concept. I'm very content with the shimmer that I currently have and I can dig in to play with. I'm happy with the color combination, but I definitely would prefer a palette with some mattes, you know, or some different textures. After playing with all the color combination, 3 different looks, I think I'm going to skip this palette, save some money on this one. Please comment down below, let me know if you guys are picking this palette up, if you guys want me to do another 3 looks or 4 looks inspired by Magnetic Spirit, then please also comment down below. I want to know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.